Okay, we'll be talking about the sources of growth and the solo model. So, this is going to teach us to examine the solo growth model as basis of modern research on economic growth, to understand the importance of saving, population growth and productivity growth, and to understand the sources of growth with growth accounting. So let's look at economic growth around the world. Since 1960, the United States has remained the richest country with steady economic growth. Convergence occurred when different initial levels of per capita income gravitated to a similar income level. Some growth miracle countries in Asia have shown convergence big time, and some African countries have experienced a growth disaster. So, the vertical axis here in this figure is a ratio scale in which the equal distances reflect the same percentage change, so that the slope of the curve indicates how fast an economy is growing. Okay. And this represents the time period from 1960 to 2008. So we can see for our country Nigeria here. Nigeria is dark purple. From 1960 there was a decline, and suddenly growth started peaking around the late 1970s, early 1980s. A decline still, a small peak in the late 90s, then a slow decline in the early 2000s, and now it represents an increase. So you can see for countries like the US, UK, France even, and Japan, for them it has been a climb up. In fact, the country to have the steepest growth is South Korea. They were at $2,000 per capita, and now as at 2008 they are at about $30,000 per capita. So Robert Solow developed the solo growth model in 1950 to explain how saving rates and population growth determine capital accumulation. So the basis of the solo growth model is the Cobb-Douglas function. So the Cobb-Douglas aggregate production function with constant return to scale is represented as this. So Y at time t is the output at time t, K is capital stock at time, L is labor at time, and A is availability of technology. So this F represents that they're a function of output at time t. So the y-axis is the output per worker, and the x-axis is the capital labor ratio. So the slope falls as the capital ratio rises and reaches a steady state where it no longer peaks and slowly starts to decline. So the bathtub model is a classic example of a steady state. So the hole underneath the bathtub represents depreciation, the water in the bathtub represents capital, and the tap represents investment. So when an economy reaches a steady state, investments may continue, capital may seem to be rising, but the levels remain distinct because of the unseen hole at the bottom, which represents depreciation. So the solo model suggests that similar economies will experience convergence. That means countries with low initial levels of capital and output per worker will grow rapidly as the capital and outputs will rise until they reach a steady state. So countries with high initial levels of capital and output per workers will grow slowly as K and Y will fall until they reach a steady state. So there is strong evidence of convergence among wealthy nations. Let's look at this graph. So you can see the wealthiest nations: US, Switzerland, Japan, Portugal. They are all along this line here. The regression isn't much between them. If population growth rises, the depreciation and capital dilution line shifts up. So the solow model indicates that in steady state, higher population growth lowers the level of output per person. The solow model predicts that higher population growth makes average person in a country poor. A scatterplot of personal GDP against 100 countries provides support for this population. To understand why economies can experience sustained increases in the standard of living over time, a solow model needs to include growth in productivity represented as A. To summing up the solow model, economies with similar production functions and saving rates that have low initial per capita income will have higher growth rates. A higher rate of saving leads to higher levels of capital output per worker, but does not affect the long-run growth rate. Higher population growth lowers the level of output per person, and increases in productivity amplified in generating output because there is direct effect to the production function. Implications of solow model. The model does a poor job explaining sustained increase in standard of living, and productivity growth is the only factor that explains sustained growth in standards of living, but is an exogenous variable that is not explained by the model.